Okay, so there are really two ways to approach a problem like this. The way that they will learn in 8th grade is doing it through slope, which is just having them say, okay, speed equals distance 2 minus distance 1 over time 2 minus time 1, and then having them plug into that formula. That's one way to go about it. However, I think the easiest way to teach a 6th grader is through a chart, because they don't really need to know how to do slope yet. So I'm going to show you that way now. So we would set it up as a T-chart with distance here and time here. And one of the things you'll have to make sure that students note is that sometimes on the chart time will be first and sometimes distance will be first. So really be careful about that. So you want it from 0 to 4, so you say, okay, at time 0 and at time 4. And then you say, okay, well, the time 0 here is at distance 0, and at time 4, the distance is 8. Let's put that here. The next step then is to find the difference between those two numbers. So the way that I always taught my kiddos to do this is to say, okay, the difference between 0 and 8 is 8, and then circle that difference. The difference between 0 and 4 is 4, and circle that difference. Now it makes it much easier to put that into the speed formula. So then that's step 1. Step 2 would just say, okay, speed equals distance divided by time. Speed equals distance 8 over time 4. And so, okay, I would also remind my kids at this point, go back and make sure that you have your units. So 8 kilometers over 4 minutes equals a speed of 2 kilometers per minute, and then box your final answer. So for the second one, that would look very, very similar. It would look just like this. Distance, time. You have a time now of 6 minutes to 8 minutes. So at time 6, the distance is 12. And at time 8, the distance is 16. So the difference between 12 and 16 is 4. And the difference between 6 and 8 is 2. This way, speed equals distance over time. Speed equals 4 kilometers over 2 minutes. So the speed equals 2 kilometers per minute. And then box your final answer. If you want to teach kids the other way, it would, on a problem like this one, it would look like speed equals distance 2 minus distance 1 over time 2 minus time 1, which would say speed equals, my two times here are 6 and 8, so we say time 2 minus time 1, and then the same thing, they need to go match it up and say, okay, time 2 is corresponding to 16, time 1, 6, corresponding to 12. Speed equals 4 over 2. Speed equals 2 kilometers per minute. So really just kind of personal preference here on which way you would want to teach it. I will say I've had a lot more success using this chart method with 6th graders. Let me know if you have any more questions. Thanks, bye.